Okay, so first thing I want to tell you is if you don't know what the hearing aid looks like, go look at some pictures on online so you can see what shape you want to play with. Even though there is hearing aids and cochlear implants and pontos, there's many different kinds and designs in each of them, so you can play around with some of it. Like some of these have a little bit more of a like a rounded shape, and some are a little bit more squarish. So you can, play with that and do what you want with it. So the good thing here is to use your imagination. So let's suppose we're doing an actual hearing aid right now. And the basic shape that we're gonna use is something kind of like this, right? That's kind of the shape of the hearing aid. And then if you want to do it a little more rounded, it's more like same thing, but then you're rounding the corners a little bit, right? Like that, right? But then it's not a flat 2D image, it's more like a 3D image. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring a line over here, a line over there, and we're going to bring it down like that. See, now it looks more like 3D. We can do the same thing here, a line here, a line there, and this line can be a little bit longer. So go like this, because this is a little thinner than here. So that's a way of kind of getting the basic of the shape. But there's another thing about hearing aids, because they're supposed to fit behind the ear like that. So they go kind of behind and around, so they follow this round shape right here. So they have to have a little bit of a curve on them, right? So then if you were doing a hearing aid that's a little more squarish, you would do this shape right here, and then you curve it a little bit like that. See? Like that. Whoops. Line right here, and a line right there. And then there is the part that connects to the tube that goes into the ear mode, right? So this part, you can play around with it. You can do a shape that's like a V, you can do a straight, you can do a curve, you can do anything you want. You can stretch this a little bit more, and you kind of make the mic almost connect right here. They kind of get really tiny, see? Like right there, okay? And then you're going to do the curve for the tube right there. So you go like this, and then you can go like that. And you can make it as short or as long as you want. See, mine even came out a little wiggly. It's okay. If you don't like it, you can always erase it later on and stuff. And then there's the part of the ear mode, and there's many different kinds. So that part too, I kind of think, oh, what if this is a part of a hat, or is part of the hair, or anything you want. So for example, in the Madame, where is she? Let me see. This guy right here, see, he has like a tiny little tip, like a tip of a hat. So we can do that in this one too. Same thing. So we can do like a little bit of a rounder, bigger shape like that right there. And then you have the little part that goes into the canal right there. Now let's put a face on this guy. This guy here is looking very bare. Let's put some buttons on it. So you can play again with any shape you want. So you can make the eyes round right here. Or it can be squared, anything you want. And then the nose can be funny too. You can put like a big button nose. I know hearing aids don't have big buttons like that, but you gotta use your imagination, right? Just like that, see? And then there's many ways you can do the mouth too. Sometimes hearing aids have switches. They go back and forth. You can do this, about that. It's got a big lip. It looks like a big button right there. And you can maybe even make it look a little more like a button by giving a little more of a 3D form to it. Like that. Oops. Like that. Just painting a little bit here. See? And then I imagine, okay, if this was a real hearing aid, maybe you can hang the feet, like using like a little ring right there. And then you can hang the feet going down. Like that. And you can make the shoes. And the shoes can be as simple as doing something like this. Okay, that's a very silly shoe. Well, what kind of shoe can you come up with, I wonder, huh? I would love to see your shoes. Anything you want. And then lastly, I'm gonna put some arms on him. This guy here is also, the arms are also gonna hang down. And he has a little hand, right? We put the thumb this way, and then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4 hands. And then imagine that there is a hand on the other side coming from this side right here, same height as this one. So imagine going down, and then you bring it down right here. And you stop around the same height as this one, and then you put the thumb facing in. The thumbs always face in. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you got your first little character. Got that? So we can do something similar with a bone anchored hearing aid, right? So we have, some of us have hearing aids that have more of a shape like this. And some of us, something like that, right? I'm not very good at doing straight lines without stopping. Some people are so good at that. I always do this like many little lines all at once, right? They have that shape. And some of us have hearing aids that have a shape like a rectangle, like a little, almost a square, right? With a little bit of a rounding on the corners, right? So those are the ones that we see, the most common ones. I know there are others that can be just like, some people have the hearing devices, there is just a circle like that. So look at your own device and try to see and look at it and say, like, where can you see a face on it? For example, on mine, that has the shape like this, kind of, and it has a circle inside of it. Can you do a perfect circle? Kind of hard, huh? I had a teacher, a math teacher when I was young, who could do really big, perfect round circle on the chalkboard. And it was amazing just to observe how easy it was for him. So I thought that maybe because of this big circle, it looks like one big eye, you know, but maybe not. But what if it is, you know? So what would that eye look like? Would be like the eye of a fish, a snake, or a human eye. So I'm doing like the iris right here. And then the cool thing about the eye, if you take a look at it, there's many different ones. So look at pictures of eyes so you can see. So a human eye, it has these lines coming out from the center. So the way to do that, well, you do one line going up, a line going down, a line going this way, a line going that way. And then you keep on filling in between. So between this one and that one, there's a line that goes this way. And then a line, and try not to go all the way out. Just kind of like a little bit this way. See? Now I'm going to fill in between these two, going this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way. And now you know, you can keep on going. Do many lines. There's so many lines. And then you can do lighter. Don't do it so strong now. Make them a little lighter. Use like a light touch with your pencil. And go like this, like that, like that. That's kind of how I do an iris. See? And sometimes it looks like there's lines coming out from the outside too. And follow the direction of the other lines so you're not making them go all over the place. Like this. See? Well, I got an eye there. But maybe my guy has a mouth too. Who knows? You know, maybe he has a big, nice smile right here. Oh, look at that. And then we can put the legs on it. Imagine the little ring that holds the legs. If it's the real one, you don't have to do it like that. You can do many legs if you want to. And this one's got a long leg, right? And the shoes, I'm gonna do shoes a little more like this and this. Can you see? I hope you can see well. This is my first time doing this like that, and I can't really see the camera, so let me see if I'm showing it well. Should I zoom in a little bit? There we go. Okay. So here is the sole of the shoes. And then this guy can be saying hello to you. And your thumb facing in, you know. Put your hand next to your head and see, where is the thumb facing when you're waving hello? Is it facing in or out? You know, if it's facing out, then the thumb goes out, and that's a different thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So which way do you want the hands to go? And then this guy here. Okay, so now he's putting his hand on his wrist. And when you put your hand on the wrist like that, what you see in here is the pinky. It's not the thumb. So that's the pinky. And it's thicker arm. Pretty cute, right? You can put a hat on him too if you want. How about this guy have a hat? You can do anything you want. What kind of characters can you come up with? I wonder. That start with the shape of your own hearing aid or somebody else's hearing aid. Give it to a friend. You know, show it to them. I want to see. You know what I thought too? I thought maybe about the band. The band, you can do a big loop like that, right? And then you think about the most outer part of the loop that you created, and then most outer part on this side, and you make a little line going down like this, okay? Now you're gonna follow the loop underneath it. So it goes this way, and then this way, and then this way. Oops, losing a little. Okay, right? And then, and now here's the tricky part right here. See the band, no, this is inside of the band. So you got to continue the loop from about here. Takes a little practice, guys. It goes right here and then it goes here. Then it can kind of make it look like that the band is actually 3D going all around. And then I am not sure, I have to look at a picture to see how the part that connects to the devices, what does it look like? But I'm gonna pretend it's a little square that's coming out like right here. Maybe there's a button in here. And I'm gonna put one big eye on it. So silly, right? It's got a big eye coming out right there. And then what I wanna do, okay, what do you think of this? Yep. Well, I might have to do some erasing here, but what if it has many little legs? And you keep drawing little feet coming all around. Well, that's my creation. That's how I saw my band. My silly band. Okay. So, yeah. Keep going. Many feet. Silly feet going everywhere. And maybe you can make it like look like the band, no matter what, is always going around because it's a whole loop. So you can never go straight. That would be silly. But maybe not. Maybe this guy here is going. Remember, this is behind this part of the band, so you don't want to draw over it. Never draw over it. It's like always behind. And then you can color it too. What color is your band? Do you have a band? I know a lot of kids with bands. And some are really cool looking. They have many designs in them. They're super cool. Okay, look at that. Well, that's enough legs. It's my bandopede. How is that? Pretty sweet, huh? Maybe it can have a little tail, who knows? So here are some ideas on how to play around with your devices and or somebody else's devices. Oh, I can make one more. I can make a cochlear implant. So if you remember, if you watched my last video, this guy right here, Norbert, you know, it's a cochlear implant. So the cool thing about cochlear implant that it has this kind of like loopy shape here, but it kind of looks like a long nose. Every time I look at it, I think it looks like a nose of a bird or an elephant. You can make it look like an elephant, right? So that's kind of the shape that I know. Maybe you see a different shape. But there you go. So you can have open eyes or closed eyes. You could have a little nose right there. See, you can make a beak. If you want to make it pointy, you can do that too. See, looking already like so much like a bird, right? And then on this guy, I put some clothes on him. So I just put some stripes for a shirt. And then polka dots for a skirt, or shorts, whatever you think this is, right? And then he has his little arm coming out of here. Oops, right here. And then I'm thinking, okay, the hand is sideways. When your hand is, just put your hand loose next to you like this, you know, and what do you see? When you look in the mirror, what do you see from this angle? Okay, so I see my pinky on the outside, like this, you know, so my hand's kind of like that. And then he's got his feet. And here I thought, oh, what if it's like a chain, like a necklace chain that sometimes people put decorations on their hearing aids and they use the little chains. What if his legs were made out of the chain? So I just do many little circles like that. One a little over the other to make it look like a chain. See that? And I think Norbert looks a little sleepy, so I'm gonna put him in sleepers. Puffy's sleeping shoes. Like that. And then this one, the same thing. Well, and then the other arm, don't forget the other arm. So imagine the other side is around here. So maybe his hand is a little this way so you can see his hand a little better. And you can see arm 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof, this one came out big. I can always erase it a little bit. There you go. That's good. A little better. Okay, and then don't forget that cochlear implants have a part in here that attaches to the magnet, right? The coil. So my son wears cochlear implants, so I know this very well. I've seen it a lot. It could be as long as you want it to be. And then there's a round part in here, but mine is like a feather. So this is the cochlear implant idea. Here's my band idea. And here's a hearing aid and a bone anchored one. Now I'm wondering what kind of characters you can come up with. Let me know, show it to me. Talk to you soon. Bye.